Yes, gut health is the answer to a hyperreactive, overreactive, and intolerant immune system. The answer is just yes. Gut health is the answer. Hi, my name is Phil. I'm with Silver Fern brand. We're a digestive health company. So a lot of people, the answer to an overreactive immune system, once again, underreactive means you get sick all the time. Overreactive means it's overreactive. It's not trained. It's intolerant. It's responding in ways it shouldn't be. It's attacking everything. Overreactive, okay? The answers that most people give are to either suppress the immune system, not a good idea, or that it's just genetics. Genetics is always the problem. It's just genetic. You're supposed to suffer. Your grandpa had it. Your mom had it. Your sister. It's just genetics. It's just you're going to suffer. Those are really crappy answers. I don't agree with either of those answers, all right? So think of your immune system like a gun. And I hate to use this analogy. It just works really well. You don't have to like guns to use this analogy, but just work with me here, okay? So the immune system is a gun. So the question is if there are no bullets and nothing pulls the trigger, what does it do? It does nothing. Unless the gun is loaded and fired, nothing happens. It's just the truth. Okay, so what are the bullets? So here are the bullets. The bullets to the gun are dysbiosis, which just means an imbalance. Leaky gut. Leaky gut is a real thing, by the way. It means increased intestinal permeability. It means endotoxemia, which is described as an increase in lipopolysaccharide, which is a toxin that breaches the gut barrier and goes systemic throughout the system, causing low-grade systemic inflammation, by the way. The third thing is called inflammation. The fourth bullet is going to be macrophage dysfunction. The next bullet is going to be dendritic cell dysfunction. And last but not least, regulatory T cell dysfunction. By the way, regulatory T cells, dendritic cells, macrophages, those manage immune tolerance. So when they're not functioning correctly, you get intolerance. You get a lot of inflammatory responses. You get a lot of overreactions. I hope this makes sense. So once a person has their genetic code, their gun, and these bullets are loaded in, then they get really sick, stress, they get like a really unhealthy diet. They eat a really crappy diet, which all the way also causes dysbiosis, leaky gut, and inflammation. But something pulls the trigger, and then they get a really horrible cascade of problems. The bullet leaves, and they get flare-ups. Now, also I should suggest, just to be accurate from a science perspective, dysbiosis, leaky gut, and inflammation causes dendritic cell, macrophage, and regulatory T cell dysfunction. Regulatory T cells also Treg, okay? I know I'm saying a lot of nerdy stuff, but I assume some people are going to go research this, which they should. All right, so that's how the immune system works. So if you want to address the immune system when it's overreactive, you don't suppress it. When you suppress the immune system, you open the gates for more bad things, more invaders, if you will, to come into the body, which will further contribute to dysbiosis, leaky gut, and inflammation, which will further contribute to macrophage dysfunction, dendritic cell dysfunction, and regulatory T cell dysfunction. Not a good idea. Suppressing the immune system is not a great plan. May work temporarily, may be a quick answer, but it's not getting to the root cause, not an answer. And genetics is just genetics. Everybody has genetics. So while I understand that is a problem, it's not, I mean, just saying I'm that way is not going to solve your problem, right? So how do you unload the gun? Well, if you know the problems and you know the bullets, you know what to unload. So you would help restore microbial balance, strengthen the gut barrier, restore healthy inflammatory responses. You would help you would help improve macrophage function, dendritic cell function, and regulatory T cell function. You would make these things healthy again. You would promote the health of these different things. That's what you would be doing, which is how I'm allowed to say it as a supplement company, okay? So at Silver Fern brand, if somebody comes into us and they have an immune intolerance, so their immune system's reactive like it's not supposed to be, if I may, a lot of people, their situation is dynamic, right? Everybody has a different situation. But that being said, if a person comes in, they have no stomach issues, no reflux, heartburn, burping, belching, indigestion, stomach discomfort, aches, pains, all that kind of crap, and or constipation, any of that shape or form, we start them in the Immune Plus protocol, which is cleanse. Cleanse is just straight IgG. So IgG is an antibody. It's a very healthy antibody that stays in the digestive system. It is a binder. It knows to bind to bad things and get rid of bad things, and it soaks them up, and it does not bind good things. So it's not going to bind beneficial bifidobacterium, lactobacillus, Akkermansia, Christiacella, Prevotella, F. present. It's not going to bind those things. It's not going to bind your nutrients, minerals, and medications. It's not going to bind those things. It actually has a prebiotic effect, meaning it's going to encourage the growth of bifidobacterium and short-chain fatty acids, butyrate, which is really good for the gut barrier, which goes to the next thing. So is this going to help restore microbial balance? Yes. Is this going to help restore the healthy gut barrier? Yes. Is this going to help restore healthy inflammatory responses? Yes. Is this, by doing this, going to help decrease immune activation? The answer is yes. So we take this and we pair it with Postbiotic Plus. Biomend L-lysine butyrate, not to climb into butyrate. Butyrate is like the holy grail for the body, actually, but for the gut barrier and the immune system. So butyrate, if you go research it, is what we use to help restore regulatory T cell function, okay? This is an L-lysine butyrate. It hits the small intestine, goes systemic. We like it. Now, tributarin butyrate is super good for the colon, but it doesn't go systemic like L-lysine butyrate. So if you want to help the colon specifically and the barrier of the colon, you use tributarin. Sodium butyrate also goes systemic, just significantly less. So the L-lysine butyrate, the Biomend L-lysine butyrate, has a 500% up to 500% higher Cmax score, which is absorption in the system, systemic absorption than tributarin, and I think it's about 50 to 80% higher absorption rate than sodium butyrate. So it's really good. So it helps with regulatory T cell function. Regulatory T cell function, when that's healthy, it helps restore immune tolerance, okay? And then and by the way, it's also a prebiotic. And then you have Beta Via and Amuse. These are how we help with the dendritic cells and macrophages. We're helping improve communication amongst the immune cells. We're training the immune system. So what you're doing is training the immune system, you're improving communication throughout the immune system, and you're helping restore tolerance. When you put these two together, we would argue it is an effective way to pull the bullets out of the gun so it doesn't continue to fire, okay? So that's what we would suggest. Obviously, if at the same time you're doing this type of process, you are flooding your gut with unhealthy food. If you're eating way unhealthy food, pop, soda, Taco Bell for lunch, I shouldn't say that, but fast food, you're eating fast food all the time. That's not good on the microbiome. That's not good for the gut barrier, and it's sure in the hell not going to promote healthy inflammatory responses. So you can't do all these good things over on this side and then do all these bad things over on this side and get a positive outcome. I'm saying that because I don't want people to say it didn't work for me and the whole time they're eating crap. That doesn't make any sense, okay? All right, so that's what we have. It's called the Immune Plus protocol. I'm just going to say it straight up. It's expensive. It takes time. It costs money, but it's effective. It does what it's supposed to do. If you can afford it and you want to get to the root cause of the problem, just do the moderate to severe protocol. Do it for the full time, and then at the back end, rebuild the microbiome, okay? I don't have immune system. My immune system's not overreactive from the perspective of, like my wife who has Hashimoto's. I have allergy issues, or did. Mine are gone. But I take this all the time because I just don't want to get sick. Meaning this is I have a lot of kids, and so I take this every day because it's just very good for. It's also very good for helping restore, make the immune system strong. Okay. All right. Last but not least, I said right up front, this is the protocol we have people do if they don't have stomach issues and constipation and like major bloating, severe bloating type stuff. If you have those things, this needs to be done after you restore, help the stomach issues, you help restore regularity, you open the detox pathways and stuff like that. If you have issues beyond just like, hey, I just have a very hyper-reactive immune system, please reach out to customers. So DM us, send us a direct message. Don't chat us, please. Chatting doesn't work very well. Send us a direct message and say, hey, can I get a protocol? And in that protocol, we'll ask you what your issues are, and just make sure you say, hey, I have an immune system that is intolerant, it's hyper-reactive, and we'll build that in. So that's how we do that. Last but not least, many people, or some people, at least 2 or 3% of our customer base, their situation is very dynamic, okay? Like very dynamic. It is complex. They have histamine issues, mast cell issues, they've got a variety of problems, they've got blood work they want to share, stuff like that. Send us in the direct message, say, I would like to be put in contact with Michelle Jenkins, and we will help you with that, okay? I hope this helps. If you have any questions, just send us a direct message. Bye.